happened last week.
Woo.
See Empire person kill Empire person.
We killed the shit out of Portia, and you almost
Yay.
died.
Yay!
But currently Big Monkey, which is the most important thing.
Well, we killed Octavius and Portia and the dwarf whose name I forgot, as well as the cleric.
Thurava or something?
And
I heard
Thurlin.
it was unimportant, I'm pretty sure.
Dead. DEA dead.
But,
Dead Lady McDetterson.
yeah. What's her name? Khalid got away.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be back.
Yeah. Bill didn't want me to tie up that loose end just yet.
And he was looking around, and his side was dying, and there was nobody between him and an exit, and so he took it. He's a mercenary, he's...
Alas, I didn't get to pull my ball bearings. That would have
It's
been
okay.
hilarious.
You just get to keep them.
So are we all set there, Mel?
Yes.
All right. Who actually wants to do the recap, though?
Well, last week's episode was called A Well-Laid Plan, which we executed perfectly. As our group of intrepid heroes lie in wait for Portia and the gang to arrive, we were slightly surprised but bemused by two whites clearing the path ahead of them. They were white, so they're pretty dumb. So they got stuck in our snare traps, set up our rail car pendulum explosion. We got to get the vial acid back, by
Very
the way.
true.
We didn't do that yet.
Juicy.
And we were assaulted, but we lied in wait just for the right time and to strike. Artana's killing like everybody, by the way.
My food just died or some kind of eating while they're
There's
talking.
some bullshit.
What a ham.
Taking down Portia and I believe Octavius as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think Thorin killed the cleric guy whose name was also unimportant.
Aurelius, but whatever.
Aurelius, and also had a bit of a moment of dwarf betrayal, and she went kind of ballistic and broke her "don't kill dwarves" rule. At the eve of battle, we identified, or I think we were in the process of identifying magic items, and divvying out some loot, and then proceeding to the rest of the dungeon to embrace our destiny and achieve glory.
But essentially, you guys had just finished the fight and were collecting magic items, and Artanis was identifying stuff. What would you like to do?
Once everything's identified, I would like to search Portia and Dwarf Lady's corpse for any journals or notes.
You already did that.
Perfect. Then I would like to see if there's anything useful in them.
Maybe we should go kill Khalid first, or try to kill him before you read all of her journals.
Oh, but this
Thorin...
thing.
Yeah, but Thorin needs her head. Or his head.
That's right.
Remember?
I mean,
the longer it takes for us to find him, the harder it's going to get.
I'm kind of just about tapped out abilities-wise, so I don't know how much more use I'm going to be. But I'm happy to continue on. Just, my flurry of killing people is probably at an end for the day.
That's okay, you did very well.
I still got my flurry, just don't have a lot of hit points.
Well, that I can fix. Well, I give you a second level cure wounds,
You
right?
did, yeah.
Okay.
Vishnu
Mhm.
says, also, your brother is still a giant monkey.
Oh, I
Alright.
dropped concentration on monkey.
Thorin is back in his normal dwarven form.
Welcome back.
Thorin gets a cure wounds. Wow, because I am pretty sure he was hurt before.
Yeah, I'm at like 11.
Ossel gets another cure wounds.
Shit.
And Vishnu says, do we really need to go chasing after that guy right now? He's
No.
lost
No.
in the halls by himself. He's as good as dead.
I mean, I can go get him.
I guess that's
Real
the
quick.
problem. Does it have to be
Yeah,
via us?
is it?
Or if the halls kill him, does that count?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I believe a head is ahead.
Thorin needs his head. The question is, can it be dead when we find it?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna look to Vistra at God stuff.
Oh,
I mean, if you give me that bag of platinum you found in Portia, I guarantee I can get him back here.
with as long as it's taken
Sure.
for us to stand here and collect all these items off these bodies and you cast your spells and stuff, I imagine he probably didn't stop running.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that.
I'm just saying, it's not like we need to
He's
go
gonna
running
be,
off down the
yeah.
hall. Like, we're not going to catch him at this point, like, by just charging after him.
Agreed.
Do we rest then, or do we continue on at a leisurely pace? We keep investigating here.
I mean, resting would be a good idea.
Short rest or long rest? I believe we just started our day.
At least a short rest.
Yeah.
I'm fine with a short rest.
Actually, I believe this ambush took place towards the end of your day,
So we can
Oh,
long
cool.
rest.
as you spent the day setting up the traps and everything for the most part.
Hmm.
Day, night, you're not 100% sure anyway. Sleep
What is
cycle.
time anymore?
Yeah, but sleep cycles wise. um, but you have yeah, you see, as far as you can tell, you've stripped them of any intelligence or things of value, but the bodies still remain there.
I'm gonna get my ball bearings back.
I'm gonna lower my net trap and pull the vial of acid out of the white. Well, first off, is it broken?
It is not broken.
Cool. I found a potion of healing.
Mm.
I'm going to drink it now. Psych.
Arcanus. That was one of your darkest things I think you've ever done.
It would have been great though.
Oh yeah, it's
Oh, for
very
sure.
it's very off alignment for our serial killer.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
not even that. No,
No,
it's
it actually is because then if they drank it, then their organs would have been like goo, and he couldn't use them for anything.
But you know what, Flint? You bring up a good point.
It was tactical and intelligent.
Indeed. So, you guys taking a long rest, short rest?
I say long rest.
If we can make sure that this room's sealed for a bit, because we still have to deal with whatever the fuck murdered those goblinoids from before.
And Balrog is still behind us and after us.
Yeah, I was trying not to think about that.
I don't know how. It's all I can think about.
Did Artanis do the serial killer eyeball scooping out of Portia yet, or was that a thing that he decided not to do?
No, I don't believe he scooped out her eyeballs.
No, and I honestly, thinking about it, I think given what he knows, I think he either would have assumed it's some magic spell that she created or um, some gift of Hecate, but not like something that he would learn by dissecting her.
Does he get a point for restraint?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, are eyes magical? Like, would that show afterwards? Because otherwise, how do you find that out?
I'll kind of nudge Thorin and just kind of chin point to Portia, who's kind of just sprawled out.
I'll walk over and I'll take my knife or my hand axe and I'll just start cutting the head off.
Yeah, you already have a good start. Her throat got slit.
Yeah, without too much trouble. You're a big, strong dude. You, with one swipe of your hand axe, just kind of holding her by the hair, head comes clean off. As you're standing there holding it, um, there's a boom of energy, and you watch as this fiery portal opens up, and walking through is this feminine form in black armor with red trim, and no face, but just like a porcelain doll mask where the face would be. Is this like with a long sword and big red, black, feathery wings, as it walks up and says, 2 out of 3, not bad. Best of luck with the third one. As they step back through as the Aaron Yes steps back through the portal. And
2 out
Thorin,
of 3 ain't bad.
Thorin, you gain 5 points of Ares piety.
Whoa! Oh, doubling down.
I didn't know you can multi-god in this campaign.
Yeah, see, I don't even need to choose. Thorin's got 2 gods, so evens out.
But Thorin, you gain 5 points of Ares piety, and you feel a presence that you haven't felt in a while.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Very soft and just barely there, but you can feel it.
I hold up the dismembered dwarf head. No, you were supposed to. Oh fuck. Well, what are we gonna do with this now?
I don't know why you took it, but I assumed you had some use for it.
I thought you buried her.
I buried her 90%.
Oh.
Tip of the head.
God
There's that little kind of broken minecart part that kind of just falls into the abyss, right?
The one, yeah, on the top there.
All
Top
right,
right.
cool. I'll just as like a jump scare, I'll just put it at the end of it. I won't toss it off into the abyss, but I'll just put it at the end. So if someone like walks around with a torso, oh, it fucking scares the shit out of them.
Okay.
damn.
Pranks for future use.
You do so.
Go over and sit on the box.
You're still all in pitch black, as none of you, no light source is giving off anything.
Yeah, I might start trying to make a fire if we're gonna long rest here.
you begin to construct the fire. There's plenty of old wood, old dry wood around. It gives off the warmth that you like, but no light.
I'm going to start setting up the dome a little bit down this hallway.
Okay.
Just with the thought being that if we start getting rushed by Balrog, then at least we're already in a hallway that hopefully he can't get into very easily.
Okay. You set up the dome, and it uh, manifests inside the hall, taking up most of it.
Still don't know if you'd all not even have to worry about that. If you just went on without me.
I mean, what are you proposing that we do? That we just leave you here?
And this isn't your fight. Probably.
We're a team
No.
last time I checked.
Yeah, but I'm just kind of like glancing down, like looking back and forth, like in the darkness. Can't even say that Hecate's in the wrong in this one.
I have been meaning to ask what exactly you did, but
No buts. What did you do?
Just go to the dome, like sit down and think for a bit. I'm back in Aurawam. Was a soldier for a while, but eventually became what we called a mirage. It's kind of assassin. And go out and into the world and deal with the opponents of the, deal with the people who help the Empire fuck with us. I'd say I was pretty good at it. It's kind of what I was made to do. But there was one rule. Well, no witnesses. Take accountability. At one point I was dealing with noblemen. He'd been funneling a lot of money towards, money and people towards fucking with Aurawam, the Navy side. Problems that had been caused with caravans between it and the States. I got the job done, but I fucked up. His family was still there, and I got caught. Wife, 3 small kids. 2 girls, a little boy. And like I said, no witnesses. You take accountability. So I took accountability. Hecate's goddess of vengeance, you know. Vengeance for the dead. You kill innocents, that's what happens, so I'm not really surprised. But I started seeing the spirits afterwards. Figured that was the first sign. And then I made a deal with Hades to maybe get her off my back. Maybe I'd be able to clean my slate. But that fucked me over. So this is just the vengeance coming after me again. It's not wrong. That wasn't their fault. I fucked up.
So, you're gonna give up? Or are you gonna keep trudging on and try to make things better in the world?
Well, that's not gonna happen if we all get fucking murdered by a shadow dragon down here.
But if we take out a shadow dragon, that's keeping dwarves from being able to safely access their homes. Seems like a good step.
Yeah. Which is why I'm saying maybe you all might be able to do that and not have to worry about a shadow dragon. And who's the fuck to say if this is just the end of it? We defeat it. Hecate's a fucking goddess. She has plenty of minions. And like I said, she's not exactly in the wrong in this case. She's doing what she has to do. I'm the one who's trying to defy that. Maybe that's been selfish of me. I already fucked myself over once trying to do that. So what am I supposed to do?
Seems like the group of us have been put in a position to maybe make a big positive change in this world. We've already opened up Aspida, done a little bit so far to help refugee children. Seems like there's a lot more in front of us that we can do. Seems like you're going to have a lot of opportunities to put your ledger in the black if you keep going forward.
Maybe. It's hard to think about, though. And it probably doesn't help that I pissed off two death gods at this point.
Might want to start making friends with another one that is more aligned with you.
Just kind of like looks awkward again for a moment and wants to.
You hear in the back of your head, it's just like, I didn't say anything.
Yeah. Yes, I'm trying to figure out. Oh. What I'm aligned with at this point. Because I'm not sure anymore. Guess I'm trying to figure that out. Oh,
Something to do with quiet.
Yeah. Are there any gods of shutting the fuck up? Like just kind of glancing up.
The god of quiet contemplation.
Are there any gods of like monk meditation?
Probably probably Athena or Artemis.
Have either of them approached you recently, inquiring?
Athena, Artemis, no. Just apparently Nike and Taiki, surprisingly enough.
Interesting.
Apparently I'm competitive.
Apparently.
What are Nike and Taiki's domains? Do we know that?
Make a religion check. Anyone who would like to can make one.
Nike is fast. Taiki is on brand.
Oops. 11.
17.
17. You know, as I furiously flip through my notes to find the right page here. Bear with me. Taiki is a goddess of fate, good fortune, prosperity, and destiny. Are a few of her domains. And Nike is the goddess of victory, competition, and adventure. Are a few of her domains.
That's
And
where the
I-
competitive part came out.
There's also
Sounds
a
like you got a couple
goddess-
of good options.
a goddess of war, but generally very much in the vein of like a oath of glory paladin kind of. She has a lot of those kinds of followers.
Mm. Which confused me at first 'cause I didn't realize like Mel came off as competitive. I mean, she did the one like competition thing and the dwarf thing, but
That was a little bit there, and then just the idea of, you know,
Hmm.
becoming this less of a sneak up behind you and slit your throat, and more of a, if I'm gonna kill you, you'll be armed, facing me, and conscious or whatever. You know, I'm gonna
oh,
look you in the eye. I'm gonna look you in the eye when I do it, kind of thing.
oh. Which totally didn't happen because she just fucking like
Well,
assassinated. What was her face?
but
Hmm.
it had been leaning that way a little bit.
Hmm.
Anyway,
So, yeah.
with a 17, those are the things that immediately come to mind for you.
Share all that? Should we make a pros and cons list?
Yeah, apparently they're not the only ones either, from what I hear.
I mean, Nike, just fucking do it, right?
Oh God! Well, Tiki said I'm interesting or something, and I don't know whether to be complimented or afraid. They don't know what's going on with me.
I think it's probably best to be both.
Yeah. Apparently, they don't know what's going to happen with me, and that's interesting to them. Fate and shit. A lot of the gods, which is again kind of, I don't know how to feel about that.
So at least 4 different gods have taken an interest in you. That probably doesn't mean anything.
At least one I went to first, but yeah, it's awkward as shit.
Well, I think I can say from experience that having one take a positive interest in you is certainly not a bad thing.
That's fair.
So let's all stare at Mel until she picks a god.
Oh, what the fuck?
Vistra says it doesn't really work like that, Artanis. It's more of a personal relationship. But
Sometimes,
anyway,
relationship is a strong word.
Gonna look at Donald for that one.
Vistra says there are many different kinds of relationships.
Yeah, what's yours at this point? Any tips? Looking at Donald.
If you see any fae fluttering around you, run very fast.
Okay, that's a start.
Has that worked?
Didn't work for me, but it's gotta work for somebody.
I am faster than you, but I don't think by that much.
Maybe if I'd done it sooner.
So you're running from Fae, and then suddenly you get approval of a god? Is that how that works?
No. No, the problem is that I didn't run. It's complicated. And very, very stupid. As he looks at the two little fucking Phallites that follow him around.
I think I could use some stupid right about now.
Oh, well, then you'd love these two. Just don't get what I have.
Yeah, I don't think I could take the noise.
Yeah.
Vistra says, I think everybody's a bit delirious. Maybe we should set up. It was quite a fight. Maybe we should set up watches and everyone can have a lie down.
I think that's a smart idea.
Fair.
I'll take first watch.
I'll join him.
I'll take second.
All right. You guys settle in for a long rest. Artanis and Donald hanging out. What would you like to do during your watch, if anything?
Well, before I start kind of diving into notes and journals that we found, I'll mention when I in that first fight, or I guess technically second fight against Porcia, when I guess pleaded with Athena for help. She said what I've been working towards is, she said keep at it, basically. It was I think some needed reassurance.
Well, that's good.
Why can't you go home?
Because I have a quest to do. And it hasn't worked out very well so far.
Is it something you can share?
Before I left, there was an accident. I'm looking for a way to make sure that it never happens again. to make sure that I don't hurt any more of my family.
Any more of your family?
I said what I said.
Well, you've been extremely helpful to me. So, for what it's worth, if and when you do want to talk about it, or if you do need help, um, don't hesitate to ask.
Do me a favor.
Sure.
Keep an ear out for mushroom circles whenever we go places.
Do I know anything about mushroom circles generally?
Make an Arcana check.
14?
14. You don't know a ton. You know that one of the responsibilities of some of the branches of the order, particularly, um, particularly, um, shield guardians and shield sentinels are they can be gateways to the Fey realms and other realms, and different and particular lunar cycles, and when certain planets align, or during certain solstices and other specific times of year, they tend to exist at ley line convergences and can open up and allow passage to and from other realms, and things can pass through and cause mischief. And so sometimes the Order would have to send agents to deal with that.
Are you trying to get to the Fey world, or are you trying to find something coming from there?
Both of those things, I guess. It's very unclear how to do what I'm trying to do. I need to make a deal.
That sounds dangerous. But if it's what you think you need to do, I will keep an eye out for mushroom circles.
Thank you.
With your 14 to Artanis and just your general higher intelligence and memory, you'll recall that you guys remember hearing tell of mushroom circles in the deadening wood north of Meridia.
Yep, right where I put that X on the map.
Right where you put that X, as well as the Dryads mentioning one on your island that you guys never really investigated too heavily.
Well, they told me they'd take me to it, and I didn't want to push them on it. Or they told me they'd take me to it at some point when they knew me better.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
Got it. Okay, I won't press Donal anymore for now, and I'll start thumbing through whatever documents we found.
Alrighty. It's mostly what appears to be like a journal that you found on Portia. Um, um, are you going through it with Donald or just on your own?
I don't mind Donal looking.
I might take a quick peek or two, but if he's going through that, then somebody needs to keep watch.
Yeah.
And I
Okay.
will Hearth of Moonlight and Shadow while we're here as well. I forgot to say earlier.
Okay. Flipping through the early pages, Artanis, you find at the very beginning, the first few pages are what look like the beginning calculations for customized spells that Portia may have been working on. It's very early on basic stuff. But as it continues, it begins to act as a more notes and journal almost. It talks. It must go back quite a ways. There's no dates, but it talks of her coming from the Calcarian countryside to the capital to study magic. Um, uh, the universities at the capital being the best place when she showed aptitude. It talks of her first meeting with Agrippa, um, and later on him taking her on as an apprentice. Um, she clearly looked up to him for his skill and knowledge in the arts of the arcane. Um, uh, Becoming his apprentice and earning his trust more and more, slowly seeing Agrippa's influence in. You start to slowly notice her the tone of a lot of her passages change. You can see it looks like Agrippa's influence is starting to radicalize her a bit. Um, uh, she is working a lot with the Empress and begins involved in the politics and sort of local games there. There's a particular entry that you read that says, um, well, it finally happened. Master Agrippa has invited me into the fold and given me his full trust. My mission in Al Rawam proved my loyalty when I brought the information to him and not the Empress. Together, I will help him unseat the Emperor so he can rule, and he will install me as his arcane steward. He is right, that weak, gentle, and whimpering prince can ascend to the throne, or the Empire will collapse. Um, Moving into the... Do you have any questions so far?
So just to clarify the last bit. So she got some information from Al Rawam, gave it to Agrippa, proved her loyalty. He's working against the Emperor for sure. What I wasn't clear about was, and maybe I misunderstood something. Was there an implication that he's working with the Empress to unseat the Emperor, or he's that there
Uh,
was no indication of that?
the implication was that she was assigned as part of her study to learn under the Empress, and Agrippa was kind of using her as like a mole to play the game essentially, as one of his little birds in her circle.
Got it.
In the middle sections, begins to talk about Agrippa bringing her in on the knowledge and hunt for the codex, for the codices, and their authors, and what they can do, what information they've been able to uncover. Uh, in all the notes, she talks of the Codex Multiversalis, which they believe is authored by Hermes. The Codex Mortis, obviously, the one that is mentioned the most, which they believe is authored by Hades. The Chronos Codex, which they believe to be authored by Athena. Uh, the Codex Ignis, which they believe to be authored by Apollo. The Codex Mirror, which they believe to be authored by Pan. The Codex Dryadlus, which they believe to be authored by Artemis. The Codex Automata, which they believe to be authored by Hephaestus. Um, it goes on to list a few more that you are unaware of as of yet. The Codex Incabulum, which they believe to be authored by Ares. The Codex Umbra, which they believe to be authored by Hecate, and the Codex Terragnosis, which they believe to be authored by Zeus himself.
Who is Dryadlis?
Artemis.
Artemis.
Oh, that's right. Is there anything that like indicates actual knowledge about what they do or how to use them?
As a matter of fact, of all the codexes that they talk about and list, it seems that they know the most about the Codex Mortis. Talks of where they've been searching, where the search has taken them, which is pretty much all over the map, all over Olympia. And there's one particular entry that you come to in the middle section. It says, after all these years of searching, we finally have an actionable lead. Some fool noble in Meridia has the map and is totally unaware of what it is. He has asked me to retrieve it personally and has told me to hire thieves through a third party. It appears as much as he wants it hidden, and as few people looking for it as possible. Easy, easy enough. I can use my old contacts in the Vine. And if the Codex can really do what he claims, our plans will soon come to fruition. The ability to siphon life and have the fortitude of the undead, mastery over all undead you summon or even come across, and instantly being able to summon armies of ghouls, skeletons, and wights. He will take the Empire, and then the world, and with me at his side.
Ew.
What?
Cool.
Cool.
You start getting into the later passages. There is more and more passages that you recognize are talking about you and your party, and they become increasingly frustrating and frustrated as the passages go on with each additional one. There's more politics stuff with Agrippa gaining favor with the emperor
sorry for the
by
coughing.
solving all these problems for him. Finally taking El Ruam. There's talk of the discovery of the copy of the map being in Ralos, and the plans to steal it, and how to. There's also talks of once the map was deciphered by them, how they were going to get into Dwarven territory, coming up with this political ruse narrative of some sort of trade agreement to get them into Gimdarul, and then being able to sneak down into the halls to go after the Codex. Um, um,
Anything?
some of the last couple passages talk about uh, essentially getting instruction from Hecate to acquire Mel, the tiefling. She refers to as the female tiefling in the party. In this fact, there's the final entry in the journal reads as follows. Well, that confirms it. The ones on our trail are those misfits from that island. I'm going to take pleasure in raising their necrotic corpses. Save that Al Rawami. Hecate wants her in a powerful way. Don't know what she did to anger her, but it must have been egregious. When I return to Agrippa with the codex and the dwarves in my pocket, as well as another one of his tiefling creations, I will finally take my place at his side astride the world.
One of his tiefling creations?
That's what it said.
Interesting. Was there anything about why they wanted to go after Al Rawam, or anything else about our island or elves or dwarves or the Republic for that matter, I guess?
Just a lot of confirmation of what you kind of had already hypothesized, that the entire idea of the trade agreement is mostly a ruse. If they could get the agreement, they didn't see a reason not to take it, but it was mostly a ruse in order to get their people into Gimdarul so they could get this team sneak them down into the halls to go after the codex. As far as Al Rawam, it's a lot of this possessive language of reclaiming and reacquiring and it's a lot of possessive language like that in the way they talk about it.
Oh.
Hey, Bill.
Yeah.
How do tieflings come about in this world?
I know this answer. Do any of
What's
them?
that?
How do tieflings come about?
I
Is
don't.
there something that we would know?
With a
I
mommy
don't.
and a daddy.
When a mommy tiefling and a daddy tiefling. Thank you very much.
When Hades is feeling horny and he comes up,
No, I know the answer to this one.
But it's not like a known thing that you would just know. No.
Okay, cool.
Interesting. Okay.
And that's the final entry in her journal, and notes and things. As a matter of fact, you're able to decipher that one of the spells that she was working on early on, that she may have finished elsewhere, was some sort of X-ray vision spell. Make an Arcana check.
uh, 15.
You can see that from the last couple notes in the margins. She decided that it would be easier to attack the problem from an alchemy standpoint instead of a pure spellcasting standpoint.
Got it.
As in brewing a potion for it instead of a spell.
Got it. Unless Donal was like reading over my shoulder with all of that, I
Not
will.
like he was, so
Yeah. I'll
This-
share.
this takes the majority of your watch.
I'll share a quick summary of all of that, but I am not at the moment going to mention his tiefling creation comment. That seems too much like talking behind Mel's back.
Okay. So what? So you give him the very shortened Cliff Notes version of all of that.
I mean, you can cut out all of Porcia's tragic backstory. I don't give a shit
Yeah.
about any of that.
I'm just
No,
saying.
I'll just like
Sorry.
yeah, no. Basically, as I'm reading, I'll be like, she was from Calcaria countryside, blah blah blah. You know, just as I'm
so,
reading,
like, you're
just
doing it as you go. You're just like,
Yeah, blah blah blah.
yeah,
I just got a running commentary of what you see. Or what you're reading?
Yeah, just like, well, I mean, not everything, but like as I pick up something particularly interesting, so I'll probably not get into her tragic backstory, but like her relationship with Agrippa, and that he's trying to undermine the emperor, and she was a spy for him, and we pissed her off quite a bit. She knows a lot about the various codices that are out there. Um, the the trade agreement with the dwarves was definitely a ruse, and that uh, Hecate wanted her to acquire Mel.
All right.
Because if I remember correctly, the way you guys do watch is the two of you watch for 8 hours while they sleep, and then they watch for 4 hours while you trance, right?
Yep.
For 4 hours, yeah.
Yeah. So you have 8 hours to go through this book. So, but you probably have like an hour left before they're done sleeping. It takes you a while to go through it.
Got it.
Don will make a perception check for me. You read in the book.
22.
Artana, so.
Fair enough.
22. Outside of the occasional running commentary that you're getting in your left ear, the watch seems to go uneventfully. However, at no point does the fire that you guys are kind of like set up your little sleeping situation around. It continues to give off the heat that you want, but no light.
Yay.
But eventually, your companions begin to wake from their 8-hour rest as they gain the benefits of a long rest. Get all your hit points back. Get your hit dice.
Oh, Bill, during our long rest, I have attuned to the boots of striding and springing.
Okay, so you took off the other boots?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
My non-magical shark boots.
Your non-magical shark boots are currently off.
And I'll have attuned to the gauntlets.
Okay. The
Fire one.
gauntlets of Flaming Fury.
Mhm.
They can work with your unarmed strikes, by the way.
What? Really? Oh, fuck.
Oh.
Nice.
Domo,
Oh.
you're wearing the Jessica Rabbit dress, right?
Fucking dead.
Put it on. I want to see that décolletage.
He's not bad, he's just drawn that way.
Donald has in fact tried it on, and mostly he just looks extremely skinny. Like, even skinnier than any of you realized before, because he's always wearing baggy shit.
He has
As
no
with-
ass.
As with
He's
every
got
other,
no ass, he's got no chest, he got nothing.
as with every other magical item in our games, it reshapes itself to fit your aesthetic.
I've only seen calm waters be that flat.
I was told we had to go find a tailor for this.
I just like that's because I enjoy fucking with you. But it does keep the sequiny, sparkly part.
Oh, very good.
Amazing.
But it is as listed in the DMG robe
Yeah.
of scintillating colors. Yes.
I got you, don't worry.
But the rest of you come to consciousness, having gained the benefits of a long rest. If you guys, if the elves want to start their trance.
Yep. And during my trance, I'll try to reach out to Avelios, but we can deal with that later.
Okay. Um. Mel,
Mm-hmm.
if you could join me in secrets, please.
Here we go.
Oh no.
Here we go.
Fuck, where's the... I have too many... Hold on. Okay. I have too many tabs. Too many servers.
Tabs. I hear it. Too many tabs. Too many tabs. During your rest, you are visited in your dreams yet again.
Mm-hmm.
As you find yourself back at the island, running the obstacle course, and you're like, in your head, you're like, why would I dream of this of all things?
Here we go.
um,
What's a lucid
but
dream?
yeah, as you're thinking that, there's a blur and figure kind of comes running up and stops with a jolt, leaning up against one of the fallen pillars, and says, "You know, you're pretty fast."
Okay.
I mean, for a humanoid.
So I've heard. Hi.
How's it going?
Could be better. Could be worse at this point.
Really? Could it be worse? You want to invite that kind of
No. No.
fate?
No. I take it back.
It's a good idea. I know Taiki came and saw you, so I don't know if you really want to kind of put that tempt fate like that.
No.
You know, I know you're kind of on the lookout for a new big brother, for lack of a better term. And I'm not really one to like beat around the bush. I kind of have to keep a tight schedule. But you kind of already do the things I like anyway, with the whole shepherding of the undead spirits and all. So I feel like we kind of make a natural fit, if you know what I mean.
Wait, do I know who this is? First of all, because I have like...
Make a religion check.
It's like Hermes or Pan or... 14?
14? You look him up and down. It is a male figure. Tall, lithe, very like swimmer or runner's body. But tawny and muscular. Light robes, very like golden elaborate sandals that are laced up to just below his knee, and you can see the little winged uh, wings coming off the heels. Like olive leaf, like crown kind of. Um, uh, Semi long hair that's like looks like it's pulled back from like G-force as opposed to like product or anything. You get the sense this is Hermes, god of travelers and roads, athletes, commerce, speed, cunning, wit, sleep, dreams, and shepherds, to name a few. And the god responsible for shepherding the dead to where they belong, either Elysium or Tartarus.
Oh.
Plus, I feel like I have a reference, if you go talk to your buddy Dommel, I feel like he'll give me a glowing recommendation.
Yeah, just gonna pause at that. Is that so? He seemed a bit worried about it.
When is he not though? So you know, he's really got to work on his anxiety.
Yeah, we'll go with that. I don't have to deal with any Fae, right?
That's what I'm trying to, trying to loosen him up a little bit. You know what I mean? I can help you with that too.
Just immediately, just like the flat eyes, like, oh god.
Don't worry, you won't. I'm not gonna have like the things following you around. That doesn't really seem like your speed.
Yeah, not exactly.
Anyway, just think about it, and you know how this whole thing works. You can just kind of like call out, "I'll hear,"
Got it. Thanks.
and that's when you wake up from your long rest.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Just like coming to, immediately looking over at Donald. I'm not surprised by that, really. Glowing recommendation, huh?
Too many tabs.
Shit, right. Yeah, tabs. Sorry. Too many servers.
So all of you who wake up are kind of doing that
Mhm.
like guard shift change, crossing of each other as the elves
Yeah.
take their trance.
Yeah. Mel
as-
immediately wakes up, sits up, and like immediately looks to Donald. Glowing recommendation, huh?
What glowing? Oh no! What happened? Oh no!
No. Just kind of smirks slightly at that sudden response.
No!
Listen! Hey! Hey, listen! Hey!
I'm fucking dead. It wasn't that bad.
I strongly.
He's not wrong about the anxiety, though. God.
What? I'm going to sleep. I can't deal with this right now.
I really hope if Mel gets fairies, if they're not orange, I quit this fucking game.
The elves
fine.
begin to take their trance. As you guys all take your watch, is there anything you would like to accomplish, if anything, during your watch?
Thorin will kind of just like, he'll just stare off into the abyss, and ever since like he cut off Portia's head, he hasn't said a word, and he's been very uncomfortably quiet, and he's just staring off into the abyss, really.
Cool. I take a platinum piece and I chuck it at the back of his head.
He doesn't really react.
Cool. I walk in front of him with like the boots that are unattuned, not attuned yet. So it looks like a baby wearing daddy's shoes, like because I have two little dwarf feet and putting it on the human shoes, and I go like a child, and I go, "Come take a walk with me," and then I walk out of the dome.
He'll
God.
he'll slowly stand up and start walking with Ossel.
2 out of 3. It's pretty good.
Don't go too far.
All right, we'll stay within the firelight.
There is no firelight.
Yeah, we've got nothing.
I know. I maimed.
Oh.
God damn it.
You all right? You take too many swords to the face?
It's just that thing again. that thing that I struggle with.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel it.
Well, fuck. All right. Well, I have no fucking answers.
Do any of us really?
I mean, I do. But not for that. That's a new one. Well, I mean, so this is what's gonna happen. You're gonna be normal, and then once we get out of here, we're gonna get you to mom, and we're gonna get you fixed up. Mom fixes everything. That's the plan. I need you to keep
What's normal?
just keep the dead on the straight. Like, look at me. Everything's gonna be fine. I got your back, no matter what.
Everything's gonna be fine. Things don't seem to be going too well with the new guy. You got your ass handed to you pretty hard. Almost died the last couple times you went up against this Imperial guy. Never seem to remember you getting your ass kicked that bad back when me and you were hanging out.
I mean, we're gonna do like that back-to-back thing we always do, and then just kind of try to stay away from Martinez because he'll die if you sneeze on him too hard. But like, I think you're gonna be fine. Just big, like, smile of concern and trying to be very comforting.
He's got a very like not like deadpan, but just like it's basically just like I can't do like roll. I would say roll an insight check, honestly.
First roll on that dice, and it was pretty good. Insight though,
Yeah,
I'm shit at.
it's not a high one.
17.
Oh, yeah, yeah, definitely. You would see that like you would see the look on his face is I can't do this. I can't do this again. I don't want to do this again. And it's kind of that look of I just want this to end.
All right, comforting, big smiles, just cheery, just trying to be a light in the dark. But you got this. You're gonna be fine. Just one step at a time. We're gonna beat our way through this thing. Don't even think about it too hard. Do you want me to shit talk it? You want me to shit talk it? I'll do it.
You can try.
All right, I get right up in Thorn's ear. I don't know who the fuck you think you are, but you're fucking with my brother. You fucked with my family for long enough. And I swear to God, if you apparate out of nowhere, I will flay you from nape to chops. I will rip all your spines and make you a fallen angel. I swear to God.
I like her.
He likes you.
Yeah, doesn't everybody?
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
Maybe I can make a trade with Poseidon.
Hey, big pat on the shoulder. All right, big guy, keep your eyes open. And I start wandering a little bit, probably a little bit like outside where I'm supposed to be, and I just go, oh yeah. That's about it.
Is there like you said there was like a drop off, right?
Yeah, well, there's one of the little runoff tracks that kind of just falls down, and like there's a It disappears into a tunnel.
It also currently features a severed dwarf head.
Yes. That's just kind of like sitting on the ground right in front of the hole.
So yeah, Thorn will kind of walk over there and just stand there and look down into the dark abyss for a good hot minute, and just kind of look around and realize, oh, I gotta go on watch.
So if you'll recall, this you have regained the ability to re-roll your damage once per day, once per long rest.
That's what it was.
Um, you take your watch as the elves trance. The watch goes uneventfully as the elves gain the benefits of a long rest. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna see if our friend's still nearby.
That'd be good.
Cool. I've seen Khalid more than once, right? Like he's familiar to me.
Seen him
You've
twice.
seen
or
him,
3 times.
yeah,
Three
like a
times?
few, yeah, sure,
3 times, yeah.
at
And
least 3 times.
And I know that he carries like a crossbow around. That's like his weapon.
Is one of the weapons that you've seen him wield, yeah.
Yeah, cool. I'm just gonna cast locate object.
On
Khalid's crossbow.
what is how far does it
1,000 feet.
1,000 feet? You do not get a ping within 1,000 feet.
Cool. All right. Well, he's not within 1,000 feet of us, but it lasts for 10 minutes, and I could do it later today.
All right.
Shall we continue on?
Let's.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vistra says. West. She pulls out the map as you guys are like eating some trail rations and says, looks like we've got about a 10-mile march until we reach the next larger chamber.
That's fine.
Probably keep your eyes out for traps, guys, because I feel like Khalid was the craftier of the bunch. He's probably the one that set up that big stone trap, so just keep your eyes out just in case. I don't know why he would do that, because he's, fucked.
Mel just kind of looks a little bit disappointed and shakes her head. Still don't quite get him. He's been paying him a lot of money.
Probably. She's in burial. Or she was.
Oh,
Vistra says, I enjoy using the past tense when referring to her.
Me too.
Same.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say we all do.
I didn't know her for as long as you, but I hated her so much.
We all did.
On that note, and I kind of tap on her journal that I'm carrying. This proves that the whole trade agreement they brought was just a ruse to sneak into your halls. I'm happy to
Really?
show the senators later.
It says that in there?
Yes,
Is it in some sort of like code or something?
just her journal.
Oh, well, that should go a long way towards helping them make a appropriate decision.
Yeah, keep that
I hope
safe.
so.
Make sure you don't lose that.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Foreshadowing from the DM.
Why, whatever do you mean for it?
All right, we all pull out our journals and we all swap it, one to the left, then one across, then one to the right, then one across, and just go, "Who's got it now, Bill?"
Um,
Follow the
Lead
magic
steals
cup.
every journal that he sees.
Find the pretty lady. Here we go.
but yeah. So we'll assume that this conversation is taking place after you guys have kind of rolled up your bedrolls and
Mhm.
are munching on some trail rations as you begin this 10-mile march that Vistra informed you had, and that you would run into a couple of intersections before you got there. But as you continue to walk, Vistra says, "Is that all that was in there?" Or...
No,
Sounds like
she-
Portia's tragic backstory was in there.
Oh, wonderful.
Ooh, was it sad? I want to hear it. Can you read
No,
it
it
front to
wasn't
back?
it wasn't that sad. I
Oh.
said tragic sarcastically. I'm just not very good at sarcasm.
I mean,
Was it?
tragedy was part of it.
Well, it ended in tragedy, although that wasn't documented here.
I think that is a statement for the audience. I think it ended in comedy because we finally shut her up.
We sure did.
Other than that, it mentions her thoughts on some spells she was trying to create, her virtual worship of Agrippa,
Mm.
and that she was spying on the Empress on his behalf, and a list of names of codices that she was aware of.
Oh, how many did they?
Okay.
Were they aware of all the ones that we're aware of?
That'd be a
Uh,
couple more.
I'm forgetting if the dwarves actually have told us the codices that they're aware of.
They did. You guys swapped information on that actually when you guys were on the ship, if you'll recall.
Yes.
You guys traded. You guys traded. Which one? They told you about. I think one that you didn't know. And you told them about a few that they didn't know.
I'm not counting it at the moment, but there's several, including some that I wasn't aware of. Were there
There appears to be 10
10? Thanks.
that
Um,
you are now aware of 10.
As we've been traveling through the halls, remind me, were there any was there any iconography of any particular deity?
All of them.
Was the forge area consecrated to a particular one, other than being a
You
crossroads?
imagine-
Obviously.
You didn't do any magic to determine whether it was consecrated or not, like for sure, but it seemed to be in devotion, quite obviously, to Hephaestus.
I'll mention that one. It doesn't say much other than a name, but there's one listed here you might be interested in, called the Automata.
Hmm.
It's a supposedly authored by Hephaestus.
Does it say anything about it?
Nope, just names and authors.
Oh.
Hmm.
But the fact that they know about it suggests that it might be out there somewhere.
That would be interesting to. I mean, now that we know of these artifacts, I imagine, the list of people who are going to know about them is not going to get smaller.
I'd agree with that.
If they're as powerful as. I mean, you have one. What have you been able to learn about yours?
Chuckling in the background. Fucking nothing, mate.
I probably blushed lately, and I say I'm afraid precious little, other than it seems to be favored by Athena.
Oh. That could only be good things, right?
So far, it seems that way.
So it's not, doesn't do anything?
It at the moment it lets me remember one more spell during the day.
Oh, that's cool.
It is. It's come in handy.
Um, well, I mean, it's strange that it seems strange they know so little about what they can do, yet everybody's so keen on finding them.
Well, any artifact um, created by a god would certainly, especially if these came from the Titan Wars, would certainly likely to contain a lot of power.
Yeah, power draws attention.
Indeed, don't know if curious is the right word, but curious to see what the world would look like with these in wide use and circulation.
I can be honest with you, I'm afraid that the fact that the knowledge is coming up and they're starting to be found suggests that we are going to know the answer to that question sooner than we'd like.
Well, thanks. That wasn't like ominous or anything.
Considering the Empire are after all of them, that is kind of ominous.
Yeah. So all the more important that they don't get a hand on any that we can.
Yes.
Did Portia say that they had their own?
No, I think this Mortis one is the first one they had a good lead on from at least as far as she knows.
And at all hell, I don't want them to have it, or any of them.
Agree with that.
Me neither.
So let's get to it and make sure they don't.
Yay, another book finding mission. I can't wait.
That's what we've been on here, Thorin.
I know. Sarcasm.
All right. Well, yeah. Make sure you hold on to that book. The senators should see it if we get back.
I agree.
When we get back?
I like your optimism.
We'll get back.
I mean, I'm not fucking dying down here. I've made my choice. You guys failed to make up yours.
We've been walking and talking this whole time, right?
Yes, you have
Yeah.
been walking and
Yeah.
talking this whole time. Whoever's in front can make investigation checks if they're looking for traps.
Yeah.
After not that long a time, those of you who have been doing the keeping some sort of light source going as like your canary in a coal mine. Not that long after you guys start off after your rest, light begins to emit and give off from your light sources.
Ah,
That was
He's
easier
not
than the last two
following.
times.
I mean, he's not following us. That's good.
He's not getting closer, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you trudge for several hours. Anybody roll investigation?
I got a 5.
So just not worth mentioning.
No, I just shook my head. Like, no.
Well, if Mel's up at the front, then I kind of want to talk to Mel, so I guess I'll roll as well.
Okay. So as you make your way up towards the front, you can make an investigation check. You roll one higher.
It's technically better.
It's true.
You get to the front, and you guys are pretty sure that, like, Khalid was probably running for his life. There's probably no trap, so that you don't really need to pay that close attention. But you make your way to the front, Donald, as Mel is kind of doing her scanning back and forth thing. As you're in this tunnel, it's back down to that like 2-lane highway with a median width.
What did he say?
Just- yeah, he was just giving me the, what do they call it, the spiel. The video already came with a reference. And just turns her head slightly to Donald and goes back.
I'm not a reference for any.
On the
Great.
plus side, apparently don't have to deal with any little friends flittering about. If I did.
Do you think he'll let me transfer to the sort of relationship you have? Or you might have?
It's kind of like, expression just kind of sinks a little bit.
That like
He said he was helping
way.
you lighten up, and he might be able to do that to me too, so I'm feeling you in that one. I didn't choose one way or the other.
He has a
Apparently.
funny way of helping.
Yeah, but he's not wrong that he kind of aligns with what I've been doing already.
He does. Just, it's good that you're going into it with eyes open.
Oh yeah, I'd be an idiot if I didn't at this point.
Yes, you would have to be an idiot to not go into this eyes open.
Still awkward as fuck, though, no matter what god.
Why is it awkward?
Having a bunch of gods tell you that you're special or interesting and you don't even know fucking why. I don't know what they see or don't see. They're fucking gods. I'm just somebody who fucked up.
Yeah, me too. I think the only one of us who hasn't fucked up is Artanis. He's probably the only one who's here willingly.
This isn't willing for you?
You think I'm gonna willingly come into a place where everyone in it has been killing my family for hundreds of years and we've been killing them back?
Yeah, that's fair.
To go into a deeper place full of even worse monsters to help the people who we've been killing back and forth?
Yeah, I guess I figured we're kind of both soldiers in this, in one way or another. That's kind of how I'm seeing it. War is war.
Oh, we are. But I think at this point it's up to us whether that's a private or general.
Private wars are just grudges.
No, like the rank.
I have no idea how your ranks work.
The lowest rank or the highest one. I thought about asking, but I hoped it would be clear from context. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I'm confused at that point. I'm going backwards. Wait, what did he?
He's
Sorry, my brain.
you can either be in the shit and in the mud as like a private at the lowest rank, or you could be a fucking general and take control of things. Is what he's
Okay.
getting at.
Okay. Because, like, yeah, private and general have contexts that work both ways in that. Yeah.
I mean, if there's a god coming after you, like Hecate is probably going to keep doing, the easiest way to deal with that is to get a new god.
Yeah. That's what everybody's telling me.
Yeah, well,
It's not
that
wrong.
at least.
It's just weird.
Yeah, I get it.
And I know they all have their own agendas.
Of course they do. Of course they do.
Yeah. Is yours so bad?
It has its ups and downs.
Well, that's just normal.
Yeah. Well, the ups are I occasionally get to heal people. The down is I'm away from everybody I know and love. So.
Right, god of travel.
Yeah, that's why.
Just kind of like gives an arch of the brow.
Make an insight check. I'll let you set the DC, Donald.
Donald's very bad at lying. We've established this several times before.
Then you can take that
15.
into account when you establish the DC.
Donald's never been very happy about his relationship with Hermes. There's something else that more than just God of Travel kicked him away from home.
So not Hermes' fault then.
It's Hermes' fault.
Oh, we have 10 miles.
Yeah, we do.
You got my war crimes. What did you do?
I burned my brother. You ever seen what a heat metal spell on somebody in full plate does to a man?
Oh. I can take a guess.
I was just so mad. And Hermes came and gave me power at exactly the wrong moment.
Oh.
Don't even know if he's alive. The Admiral wouldn't let me see him afterwards. And I got bundled off to learn from a bush.
I see.
So, eyes wide open. You ever see me cursing at the little things that follow me around? It's because that's how our relationship got started.
know. She's just taking that in, like folds her arms and kind of glances up. A reference, huh?
Yeah, I'm surprised he gave my name.
He didn't exactly. But I got the point.
He's good at that.
Huh. You tried talking to him about that? Or your friends, quote unquote?
The friends don't exactly see anything that they did wrong. Faye are funny like that.
Yeah, but that sounds like something you should at least get an answer for. Whether somebody's alive or not. You were able to get a message to the Sultan for me. Can't get an answer for that.
Telrun's a lot farther than Elroam was. And I don't know if anybody there would write me back anyways.
I'm not talking about them. I'm glancing up again.
We have divination magic, dum-dum.
I look towards whichever one of them spoke and said in Sylvan, "You shut the fuck up."
Can't make me.
Arches a brow.
I would if I could.
Is that the insults you're talking about?
They're calling me an idiot.
Why?
Oh, because we have divination magic.
Uh,
They're forgetting that that's not how the divination magic works.
Oh, you're right. You totally don't have access to magic that allows you to ask yes or no questions.
About specific events that are happening in the next 7 days.
No, about specific events that you don't currently know about that are happening right now. Like, is person A or person X alive?
Yeah, well,
So
maybe
the
I
only
don't.
reason you don't know is because you don't want to know.
Yes, you're right. I don't want to know if I killed my brother or not.
is this still in
Okay.
Sylvan?
No, we'll switch to common for this.
Is this getting loud enough that the people in the back can hear this?
I'll look
Sir,
over.
I'm terribly sorry for my one bit of dishonesty that I'm allowed in my entire life. Or not knowing things that I'm allowed in my entire life. You little bastards.
they don't respond.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I figured.
You really don't want to know?
I'll know when I get to go home. I'll face it then. And if there's a grave to cry at, I'll cry there. Until then.
And I thought I was the edgy motherfucker.
I just say in Dwarven out loud, man, I'm fucking glad that we're normal, right, Thorben?
He'll say back in Dwarven, I don't even know what the fuck normal is after meeting all these people.
Mm.
So we all heard all of that?
I mean, you guys aren't that far from each other. You're probably all within like 10 feet of each other, unless you're moving that far ahead, Mel.
Hmm. I was probably keeping up like between like 30 and 60 feet at the most. Trying to keep. Go look for traps before people step in them.
Mm-hmm.
Either way,
That's
she's
what
gonna.
you guys are doing.
Yeah, she's gonna think about that for a second and then just kind of speak. If I can give a word of advice, sometimes you might not want the answer, but sometimes it's good to know what your sins actually are. Then you can figure out how to atone for them sooner than later.
I'll take it under consideration. Hey.
Walk forward and keep looking for traps. Badly. Which totally makes sense after that conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you guys are walking, you suddenly look up and are like, "Oh shit! There's that left-hand turn. Fuck, we didn't even notice it coming up."
God damn it.
But you are where you are represented by the little red circle.
Alright.
As you come up, you can turn to the left and you see there's a much narrower, like one-lane street kind of that turns south.
Good to know for if we have to deal with Balrog around here as well.
Oh, hey, Kelly. Sorry. I was focused really hard there
I'm gonna do
for
the
a
same
while.
thing I did before. Locate object.
You cast locate object for the same object, I'm assuming.
That's correct.
You do not get a ping within 1,000 feet.
Cool.
I did get the Rona.
You guys continue on west.
I'm dealing with the aftermath lingering cough of it. I shouldn't be contagious anymore as far as I know.
You continue west. Go ahead. Those at the front can make another set of investigation checks for me.
Oh, that's better. 21.
Much better.
Natural 19. Woo.
As you continue on, not that long after the southbound turn,
3.
you come upon the northbound right-hand turn that goes north. Mel, you notice around there, you find another one of those goblinoid bodies with the strange wound in the forehead. But you find another creature as well that's on the ground dead. It's has shaggy white fur. It appears it could go on either 2 legs or 4. It has a similar wound in its forehead as well. But its forehands are the fingers are long and muscular with claws at the end. The face has semi-feline features, but more big cat than small feline features. With, like I said, shaggy white hair, and fairly muscular and looks like built for fast movement and climbing and whatnot. But they are lying not that like sort of towards the middle of the intersection.
Oh, that's new. Gonna maybe pull Vistra over and see if she knows what this might be.
Let's see. I'm gonna say, yeah. Would it be that? Yeah, it would be that.
Oh,
I've never seen I've never seen anything like this.
okay.
I know I say that a lot, but that just goes to show you kind of how it's like down here.
Fair. Also,
What?
know of anything like this? Haven't seen one before.
Sure, I can check it out. Whoa! What the fuck? All right.
You can make an Arcana check.
I mean, it's fucking strange, but give me a moment. That's gonna be a 8.
You have no idea what this thing is.
It's fucking dead. That's what it is.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Wait, what are
Everybody
we
just.
seeing?
One of these things. Have no idea what the fuck it is. We should keep an eye out for ones that are alive. Or
Our tenants will
possibly the thing that
probably
killed
wanna
it.
dissect it. So
They're also rather large. And
Does it have the
Arcanus, you can use
same?
this like a sleeping bag.
Does it have the same like
not as in like
injuries?
yeah, the beast-like creature.
Mm-hmm.
It has no injuries save for the one on its forehead.
Oh yeah, so same as the. All right, so we keep an eye out for these things and whatever the. Well, I think we have an idea of what the fuck did it to.
Are there any tracks from whatever did it leading away?
Make a survival check.
Anybody else care to look for tracks?
I mean, if you want me to, sure. I will look for tracks.
Come on, Artanis, you said it. Roll the die.
8.
8. You do not see any tracks leading away.
15 for Donald.
Donald, you also do not see any tracks leading away. Also,
21.
21. You also don't see any tracks leading away anywhere. But it's like it doesn't make any sense. This thing's lying in a muddy puddle. There would have to be tracks to account for other than the obvious tracks that belong to the goblinoid creature and the obvious tracks that belong to this like, you know, hunch over sort of here I'll just you're looking at it, so why not?
I mean, I know that 21 failed to find tracks for this in particular creature, but do I see tracks for one individual known as
Like
Khalid
that.
as well?
You do not see tracks for Khalid,
Cool.
no.
All right. Well, I don't see any tracks, and in my expert opinion, which is always expert, I would say this thing flies.
Be the first flying thing we've seen down here, wouldn't it? Oh no, never mind, it wouldn't.
Yeah, wasn't that flying thing trying to whip you with its little tail? Maybe that's what that is. It kind of corkscrews in there and.
You're gonna have to be more specific about which flying thing.
The
cloaker?
sure, I didn't have a dwarven word for it, but yeah, sure. The cloaker.
Oh,
Seems like a dumb name for it, but
extremely so. But
yeah, I would.
Sometimes a name just comes to you in your head and it just fits.
I would have called it like a manta ray or something, but yeah, that's
But that's already an animal.
Underdark manta ray, swamp panther. What? It doesn't fucking matter.
Why'd you bring it up in the first place?
But yes, maybe the manta ray is the thing that comes in here and skewers it in the head with its whippy tail, and then I don't know.
Eats its brains.
Maybe its tail has a suck brain out
Look,
function.
I'm not the smartest one here, and I don't hear any other fucking theories out of you guys. There's a lot of naysaying going on.
I think one theory is as good as another for now.
Yeah, trying.
It doesn't leave tracks, so it probably hovers in some way, or teleports, which is scarier. And it takes brains through small holes in skulls for some reason.
Yeah, unlike you, Artanis.
Mel and Ossel, you do notice with your higher rolls this time around, there is literally suspiciously no other wounds on these creatures. There's no even defensive wounds. Or straining. Like, they just let whatever this process happen.
It's the cult of Clarota.
And
Yeah, that makes sense.
creepy
If
shit.
you sneak up on someone and drill them in the head, they're probably gonna not fucking feel it.
Well, Bill,
Yes.
if they share that with everybody else, can I examine the body for any signs of psychic damage or because it's gotta have killed him without leaving a mark? Can I examine it for signs of psychic or cold or any of the other kinds of damage that could do something like that?
Make a medicine check.
Oh!
Tell me your secrets!
Not bad. Well, spells and other effects that do psychic damage require a brain to do it too. These creatures decidedly no longer have those, so that kind of that would prevent you from determining that it was psychic damage that killed, or spells that deal such kinds of effects that killed these creatures. However, with your natural 20, you are able to eliminate literally every other. Like, there are no bludgeoning, piercing, slashing weapons. There's no discoloration from poisons or necrosis from that. It's not charred from fire or lightning damage. There's no frostbite set in from cold damage or anything. There are acid burns. Like, you've eliminated literally every other kind. But you can't confirm that it's psychic because there is no brain to examine.
Right.
But you can confirm it because you've literally eliminated every other kind.
Process of elimination.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So by process of elimination, something killed this by killing its brain before doing whatever it did this. No other marks, no other elemental damage, or nothing.
Oh, great.
I don't agree with your theory, but go off.
Look, I've seen a lot of corpses, trust me.
Yeah, and I see an entry wound in the head, and whenever I see that, that means the fucker's dead.
Yeah, but what caused the entry wound?
Fuck if I know.
Can I get that with my natural 20, or?
The it looks like some sort of grind. Like you peel away some of the flesh that's still there, and there's like it looks like some sort of like grinding, screwing thing that like bore its way through the skull.
Something like that's probably going to take a little bit of time, right? Like it's not an instantaneous thing.
There is a little bit of crackage there, so there would be a little bit of force, and it's not like it's not like a diamond cutter, cutting glass kind of thing, but um, so there's that. But sorry, go ahead.
But it wouldn't be like an instantaneous. You drill through your skull and you're immediately dead, or
Um,
like in an instant.
you would imagine you've seen people take those kinds of injuries and live through it. You think specifically the brain being removed, though, that is can't really come back from that one.
Right.
But like having like just your skull cracked, like that's fixable, like skull fractures.
that's a
and
good
stuff.
quote.
But even if it had like that opening and whatnot, like there's potentially ways of dealing with it. It's the
That's Sherlock Holmes, right?
damage or removal of the brain that's the harsh part.
Well, what I'm getting at is that it has to have some sort of way to keep people in place while it removes the brain.
Yeah. Normally you would say there's like all kinds of venoms
Yes,
and
dude.
poisons and stuff that can paralyze a creature, but you've ruled out any sort of venoms or poisons because of your natural 20 medicine check. So
Doesn't Donald have access to hold person?
he does. So it could have been something like that, Donald.
Yep. Could have.
And then they just drilled in with their dumb torture device and then scrambled their
Yep.
insides.
That's one way they could have done it, yeah.
If that's true, whatever it is intelligent.
Yeah.
That I do agree with then. We've killed Spellcaster before. It'll be fine.
Sure.
Oh yeah,
We
keep an
haven't
eye out for.
met any that
Yeah.
we haven't met any that float and eat brains.
That's fair.
Oh well, yeah, when you
I
say it
don't
like
like
that. How about we do this then? Let's get off this beaten path. Let's make this right turn here, and we'll weave our way through, and then we'll head back onto the path later. We'll just kind of circumvent this whole circle.
I don't know if I like that.
Vistra pulls out the map and kind of lays it out and says, "Really? You want to chart another course?"
At this
Like
point,
this is the course we have now is our highest confidence course for getting
I'm
to
100%
where we need to
agree,
go.
but I hear a lot of bitching and complaining about possibly getting your brain sucked out. Like that's the worst thing that could happen to us down here, and it seems like all of you want to shy away from it. So I say we boldly go where no dwarf has ever gone before, and I take Talon out and I
that's
point it
literally
towards...
not true. This is your former.
You know what I fucking mean!
But the ones that made this route came back. Their brains weren't eaten.
No. This
No.
is the
no.
ones that
We're
ever-
beyond where any living dwarf has gone at this point, Artemis.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah. This is just what they recommended was their best guess route based on the maps that we had that had survived,
Well, for all we know,
says Vistra.
brain removers could be straight ahead, or they could be off the beaten path.
Ooh, brain remover. I like that. See, that's a good name. Domo, take lessons from Artenis. Mind Eater.
Well, Artemis has a lot more practice removing brains than I do.
That is true.
Try
That is also true.
I normally try and keep them in heads and fix them.
Is that making you all uncomfortable?
What? No.
Like apparently these guys didn't have to do dissections when they went to school like you did, Artanis.
I did my dissections on the battlefield.
Same, but in a very different way from what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Most
same.
most of Alchemy 101 was was dissecting creatures, removing the correct organs, and then turning them to make inks for scribing and potions and all that good stuff.
I just like to think of Artanis on like Science Day. He's like, "All right, we're dissecting, bam, a piglet," and you're like, "God damn it,
No.
I knew that thing."
Doesn't
Um,
make me uncomfortable. You're just, excuse me, you're
well,
just much
I
more.
mean, if you want, we can chart another course. Also, I just
Oh, no, I don't recommend that at all. I just hear a bunch of whiny babies that are going. They're afraid of mind eaters. They don't want to go anymore. They want to.
That's
No,
not
I'm
what we're
giving
saying.
them
We're
an
trying to
option.
figure
not
out
what we're
what the fuck
saying
they
at
did
all.
so we know how to fucking avoid it.
Yeah.
Avoid it happening to us.
I mean, unless we've got indication as to what direction they went or came from,
Which we don't.
uh,
I've checked.
then odds are no better that going ahead will avoid them than anywhere else.
Yeah. If nobody else has come through and for fucking ever, it's not like they're waiting for people to go down this particular path.
Well,
Like
they
it's
may
a-
be waiting for goblins, but not us.
Yeah.
And I hope that we can comfortably say at this point that we are much more dangerous than a goblin.
Yeah, I don't know if this is any fucking goblin trade route, but we're not gonna figure that out either way.
Also, I say in Dwarven, Artanis, I know you identified the boots, but how do you turn the springing part off? I can't stop bouncing.
Turn off the yoga ball function.
This is obnoxious. I hate it.
Just concentrate and flex.
I'm very tense now.
Good. Now that that's happening, should we continue forward?
I mean, it's up to you guys. Vistra says.
Let's go.
Yeah, unless there's anything you can get off of this thing. It's like tapping the white monster.
Does there appear to be anything magic? I'm gonna start keeping detect magic up. Does there appear to be anything magical associated with it?
Oh, well, just like every other thing, it wouldn't necessarily give off a magical like aura or something like that. But you could collect if you wanted to. Excuse me. You could collect the usual suspects for a creature, that are the things that technically usually get used in alchemy a lot, like eyes, ears, tongue, nose, fingers, claws, stuff like that.
I mean, I've got no idea what it does, if anything, other than wander about and lay there. So, given what we're doing, I don't think it's worth the time.
We do have several miles left to that larger chamber. If we continue our current course.
On we go.
All right, you guys continue walking down the tunnel. As you continue on, eventually you start getting towards the end of the hall based on your map. And you begin to notice at the front, I like perception checks. From the front.
27.
18.
27 and 18. You begin to see a ways away the entrance, what looks like it opening up into the larger chamber, and you can see that there is a like greenish blue glow coming through the entranceway.
That's different.
Don't like that.
Hmm.
You know what they're for?
Artanis?
Yep.
I'm gonna point towards that.
Does it appear to be magical in nature?
Or you are not even close to within 30 feet.
Okay.
Come and
Want me
join
to scout
us.
that?
Cautiously.
I can use the
You notice it from probably like, let's say like 80-ish feet away.
That could be the kind of thing that acts as a lure to trap things like that other thing down here. So be careful.
All right. Well, I'll at least use the eyes and go invisible. Try to sneak up and peek a little bit closer.
So you guys watch as Mel grips the eyes and vanishes from sight. Go ahead and make a stealth check.
Mm-hmm. Whew, not 20. So that's 29.
29. As you sneak up closer to the door, the glow intensifies. And you notice that you come to a small, definitely would be more described as like a dock for like rowboats and canoes kind of thing, like a small dock as it goes into that, and there are some steps that go down into some water, where you can see the glow is intensified from the reflection off the surface as it comes out into the area, or out into the tunnel that you're in. As you kind of sneak up towards the entrance, um, you have you're kind of standing at the edge now, looking out over this teeny tiny little dock into some very still water that is glowing with that greenish blue glow. It doesn't seem to be the source, it seems to be reflecting it from something further down. There's probably about 25 feet of swimming you would have to do or walking through the water before you got to the actual like opening that goes into the chamber proper.
Okay. Is there any perimeter I can scout around that? Make sure nothing is like there's traps, there's creatures.
Make an investigation check.
14.
14. There doesn't appear to be any traps around the dock, the little dock area. But you, uh, even with your invisibility, think moving through the water for you would make it a little bit harder to be stealthy.
Okay.
Not that it would be impossible, but a little more difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Higher degree of difficulty.
Yeah. Wait, so is this thing in the water or like there's water between it?
What do you mean between
Wait,
it?
you said there was a thing glowing in the water, or is there like an
No,
island type?
source of the so you're moving down your little tunnel, your like little 2-lane highway,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you get to about like 60 feet from where the opening is that goes into the larger chamber. But the solid ground stops and it falls off into like a little dock that could fit probably like rowboats or canoes. So you would have to go. There's no like walking along the sides. Like it comes to a watery area where you would have to either swim or get in boats to continue.
Okay.
And you're kind of standing at the edge of where the stone is, and there's little stairs that go down to like the rickety wooden docks, and then from there it's about 25 feet to the actual entrance to the treasure chamber. And coming through that entrance is the glow that appears to be the water is reflecting it. It is not the source of it. The source of it appears to be coming from inside the larger chamber.
Okay, so it's like 25 feet like of water between
You and the entrance, yes.
the entrance. Okay.
As well as like a small dock between as well.
I was just pondering whether I could manage that with a step of the wind for the jump.
The entrance doesn't become solid stone again. It continues to be water as it goes in.
Okay. So it would be more than that then.
You can run on water, right? Monk shit.
Not yet. Yeah, that's high level monk shit. Yeah, I don't think. Because like 3 times my jump, I think, is what I could get from Step of the Wind, but 3 times my strength score, just 12, maybe 36 feet.
You're trying to run and jump into the water?
Like, I'm trying to figure out like how much water I could pass, or like how much there is land to land, because I could technically jump 36 feet.
There is no land to land. You don't see another land. The entrance is a watery entrance, and it continues to be water in going in.
Okay, so it's an underwater.
You're like at the edge of a pond almost, or stream or lake, or you're not sure, but
Okay, and the glow is underwater, and the entrance to
the glow is reflecting through the water. You don't believe it's the water that the water is the source.
Okay. Then I will, making sure there's no traps around, there's no enemies. She'll go back and let people know what she saw. So I have no idea what the fuck that is.
Yeah, maybe we don't go into the glowing water.
You said we're 80 feet from it?
When she comes back to you, yeah, you're like 80 feet to the edge of the dock.
I mean, did you really investigate it and see what's going on? Like, is there just a bunch of bioluminescent mushrooms or something hanging from the ceiling? What the source of the glow was?
Like from the ceiling? I didn't see anything like that, right?
No, you just know that the source of the light or the glow was coming from inside the larger chamber.
That's all I saw.
I'm just gonna start walking that way. I'm just gonna check to see if what's his face is in that pond then.
Oswald starts walking up towards the.
I'll follow stealthily.
Oh, maybe don't do that. Okay.
Make it a stealth check, Artanis.
It's a pond. She said there's no bad guys anywhere.
It's glowing.
17.
I'm just following up there to make sure. Staying
You
invisible.
come walking up Ossel, and you come to the same scene as Mel was. You come walking up to the edge of the stone that falls off down. There's a small stairway that leads down to a small wooden dock that sits on this water that there's about 25 feet of water from the dock to this probably like 20-foot opening that goes would go into this larger chamber that the source of this like greenish blue glow is coming from inside of there. The water is still and reflecting the glow, but you don't think that it is the source of the glow.
So it's a drop off, and there's a dock below me.
Yeah, there's like a 5-foot drop off and a dock below you.
Cool. So we
And,
didn't even
and
step in this room. Cool.
and
Awesome.
then about 25 feet of water on in this. It's maintaining the width of the tunnel that you were already in, and that gets to a like 20-foot wide opening that goes into the larger chamber beyond.
Cool. I will hop down that 5 feet and kind of check out what's going on in this. Like I'll go down to the dock. I'll see if there's any boats. Try to figure out what the glow's about.
There are not any boats. You still can't see the source of the glow because you're not in the room that the glow source is coming from yet. Um,
That's
uh,
fine.
but there's about you're standing at the edge at the very beginning of the docks, these rickety old wooden docks. Um, and there's the still water that goes about 25 feet to an opening in the tunnel that's like 20 feet wide and probably like 20 feet high. That goes into a larger area that the water continues into there. Looking a little bit beyond that, make a perception check.
When I'm good, I'm good. When I'm bad, I'm bad. 25.
25. You can see a little bit beyond the entrance, but not far. It continues to be a watery surface that goes on. There appears to be this chain net that is dragged across the watery passage. And you can hear you kind of stop and moving and kind of try to block out the ambient sounds of the water kind of gently slapping against the dock. As you listen, and coming from the larger chamber, you can hear what sounds like gentle rummaging.
Um, Second verse, same as the first. Locate object.
You get a ping on Khalid's crossbow. Probably. Well, I don't have to say probably. Like 150 feet away, in the direction that you're heading in the bigger chamber. Um, Once you get to the entrance, probably like 120 feet beyond that.
Cool. I go back towards the group and I go, yeah. So Khalid's shit is that way. So he made it over the water. So let's go finish this thing.
With your 25, you see that there was a rope at the edge of one of the docks that looks like it was probably might have been holding a boat that got untied.
Also, he took our ride. So
And then he stopped.
I mean, how many times did people say, "Oh, there's so many unknown artifacts and historic iconography down here that it could be looted"? He's a fucking thief.
Is he
No.
currently moving?
Is he currently moving?
Go look at Ossel. Do you fucking know that?
Did Bill answer?
I did.
We didn't hear it.
Oh, it doesn't appear to be moving from the spot that it's in.
Oh, it sounds like rummaging over there. I assume he found something good and started picking through it.
Or a brain remover found him?
Ossel is sassy today.
Yeah, like, also, do we know that, like, as far as we know, he's just, like, a mercenary fighter, right?
As far as you're aware, yeah. He was
I
a
make bold
mercenary
assumptions
high
about people. What have you guys not got that about my character yet?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not touching that water, so I guess we're flying over it.
How are we gonna do that?
Owls.
Owls?
Owls.
Can their wingspan fit through that opening?
How big is the opening? Remind me.
It's 20 feet across.
Then yes, they can fit through that opening.
They're large creatures with a wingspan. Which means that large, I believe, is like 12 to 15 feet tall. And then wingspan.
Did you see a boat?
You did not
Down
see a
there?
boat. Also did not see a boat. It'll be close, Donald.
All right.
They could clip their wings, and that could be bad, or it could be wide enough, and you could be fine. You're not. You have to risk it for the biscuit.
Could you, instead of owls, could you like make hippopotami that we could stand on their backs?
I don't want to touch that water. I don't like that it's glowing. Give me 1 sec. We're
Do you get anything particular off of it, Artenis?
You don't think that it is glowing. You think it is reflecting a glow that is coming from inside the chamber.
I don't like that there's something in there glowing.
Okay, I'm just reiterating
Yeah.
so that you're not confused or mistaken.
I don't think I got close enough for detect magic to tell me anything.
You have not as of yet. You have to be within 30 feet. Oh no,
All
wait.
right.
You went up with Ossel, right?
Right.
Right. So you did not pick up any magic coming from the water.
No magic on the water. Or
That's
in.
Well, that's reassuring. I'm still not touching it. Things can glow without being magical. All right, I will summon a bunch of giant lizards
Oh, okay.
that can climb things.
Okay.
And we can bareback ride those and ride along the walls.
Okay. Oh, I think Ossel and Thorin are away from their.
Yep.
Well, this is fine. Everything is fine.
Now's the time for the TPK, Bill.
You guys say that every week.
Well, if this is what I fucking think it is, then it might actually happen.
What do you think it is?
I think it's the fucking Elder Brain pool. Donald just knows it's glowing. He doesn't know shit. David thinks it's a goddamn Elder Brain pool.
I can neither confirm nor deny your suspicion.
No, certainly.
It's poker face. Sorry. You have to go in the room to find out.
I don't want to go in the room.
I don't wanna.
I wanna.
I'm gonna turn this car around.
God damn it, I'll turn these lizards around if you try and touch the water.
All right, so Donald uh, uh, has his little fey light buddies come out, and they begin to sprinkle fairy dust all over the place, and you watch as how many giant lizards manifest?
8. They are CR1 quarter.
As 8 giant lizards manifest, um, with these big claws for climbing along walls, as they all sit there waiting for you to mount them.
Climb on. Does the water look drinkable?
You can't really tell that just from looking at it, or from standing as far away as you were. You'd have to like go down and like interact with it.
Gotcha.
Look, even if it's not a fucking elder brain in that pool, anything that evolves bioluminescence in water in a completely dark environment like this is something horrifying.
Yeah, just getting on a lizard.
Either that or it's something from the planar portal we know is somewhere in these half of the halls, which is equally bad.
I mean, obviously it's some kind of giant anglerfish.
Well, you guys have an hour. You guys have an hour with these lizards if you guys want to talk it out before
I'm
you
gonna
go in.
throw the lizards into the water.
If you guys want to talk before you summon the lizards, if you want to talk about what you want to do first, this would be the time to do that.
I don't care what anyone else wants to do. I'm
the
not fucking
save
touching
point.
that water.
Yeah.
I'll go through this chamber any other way, but not on the fucking water.
That's fine with me.
I put my hand in the water.
No, don't you fucking do it.
Thorin walks over to the edge, walks down the stairs, over to the dock, and reaches his hand in the water. And
Wow.
Thorin, as you reach your hand into the water, it feels slightly colder than the air around it. And when you pull it out, your hand is wet.
It's cold. That's about it.
I'm not going in there.
You taste it.
Sure.
It's blood.
You pull some up into your palm and you bring it to your lips and you take a drink. And it seems to be potable.
Potent potables.
Is it
Fresh.
salty?
No, it's fresh.
It's not salty.
Just lick the brain water. Thanks, Kelly.
It tastes like cool, clean drinking water.
Ah, the cerebral fluid. Delicious. I'm still not fucking
Also,
touching it.
as you like cup it and bring it up out, it doesn't appear to maintain the glow in your hands.
I mean, I find it disconcerting that Khalid has stopped moving. And he likely took a boat across the water. So I'm with Donal on this. I'm not inclined to touch the water if we don't have to.
I got these lizards. We can very easily not touch the water in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, also, Donald summoned 8 giant lizards.
That can climb.
I can climb. I can climb too. I also can go in the water and whatever.
People don't want to go in the water.
Don't go in the water.
Can you give me a reason?
Because there's something that'll kill you in there.
There's something that'll kill us anywhere.
That doesn't mean... No.
I mean, I drank the water. It's fine.
The thing is, if we're looking for Khalid, if he doesn't have a brain, does that still count for his head?
Yeah, the head is still there. It's just not the brains. Can we do it like a payment plan, Thorin? Head now, brain later.
We may as well try getting over there without touching the water.
There's no reason to touch it and provoke whatever is in there that's going to try and kill us. I'm gonna climb on a lizard.
You climb onto a lizard.
I'll do the same.
Everybody else? Vistra says, "Okay, I guess that's. Is this what we're doing?" As she begins to like do that, like kind of looking at you for confirmation as she's like half mounting the lizard.
You're in heavy armor. You should never swim. You know, fine. I will humor you guys and avoid the water.
Let's just go.
Thorin, do you mount a lizard?
Yeah, I follow everybody.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You mount the lizards. What would you like to do?
I command them to take us around the walls of the chamber and to the other side, where Ossel thinks Khalid is, or where Ossel found sensed divined Khalid's location.
Make it sound so divined his location.
That was just a crossbow.
Oh, divined the location of his shit, anyways.
Yeah. All right, you guys mount up on the lizards as they begin to move their way across the stone, their nails kind of clicking across the work stone. As they get to the edge, they begin to mount the wall, and you guys kind of have to like hold on to these weird spines on their backs so that you don't fall off as they kind of are going like almost at like a 90-degree angle. You can, as you guys begin to enter the room, crawling through the small little entranceway into the open, more wide room. I'd like everyone to make perception checks for me.
Oh, damn.
Wow.
This is a filthy group.
Dirty, dirty, dirty.
Dirty, dirty, dirty 20. As you guys come into the room, looking around, the room is actually fairly well lit with this greenish blue glow. There appears to be growing in clusters in certain areas of the wall these bioluminescent mushrooms or fungus. That the ones that are within 30 feet of you, Artanis, are giving off the slightest bit of arcane magic to them. Just like a hint of magic, not a very powerful source.
Any particular school?
It would be. One sec.
And are these in the shape of a circle?
They are not. They're in clusters. Is necromancy.
They're giving off just a little bit of necromantic aura. Be careful.
As you divert your attention away from the light sources towards the rest of the room, you can see there are several of the room comes in as the water stream. It's not a current to it, but it continues westward across the room. Off down to your left, though, there appears to be solid ground again with another small dock and a little decrepit old crane for loading and unloading things as it begins to turn into worked stone where there are other ruins that are about. Above you to the right, you can see There are other smaller platforms with smaller tunnels that disappear into the rock. You can see several, looking around you, of those white-furred, like cat-like creatures rummaging around in different ruins and other crates and decrepit things. Um, on the far side of the area, you know what? I'm just gonna.
Show us the battle map.
Yeah, boy.
Show me the map, Bill.
As you see across the way, um, you guys are coming in over here. But you see across the way, kind of standing um, up on this platform, just kind of blankly staring off into the distance, with this purplish glow in his eyes, with a similar glow in all of these white furry creatures' eyes, as they all in unison just kind of turn and look at you. Um, uh, as Khalid turns, just kind of with that blank stare on his face, he turns and looks back up towards this little opening here, and just kind of pushes his head forward, almost as if he's like leaning in for a kiss to something that's not there. As suddenly there's a shimmer in the air, and this creature is revealed as it begins to wrap these tentacles around the face of Khalid. Uh,
Don't like that.
And we nope the fuck out on the lizards. Let's go!
Hey, buddy.
and you watch as Khalid kind of jerks and shifts, and then goes limp, as this creature that's floating just off the ground with these long black robes and a large metallic breastplate, with these long octopus-like tentacles coming out from the front of its elongated skulled head. It turns and looks at you as some of the tentacles kind of writhe around and scrape the excess brain matter off. It turns and looks over at you with its same purplish glowing eyes as they flare. The same flare happens in all the eyes of these cat-like creatures, and then it begins to shimmer and disappears again. And when we come back next week, we're gonna roll initiative.
Damn it! Well, there's your head, Thorn. Let's go.
Do we hear in our heads? Does it say, "Do you feel death"?
God.
And that is where we will pick things up next week with the rolling of initiative.
You joke about that, but I play with a character that's basically Davy Jones as a mind flayer and is now an elder creature.
Well, it was going to happen sooner or later.
It happened sooner.
And you guys were afraid about the water.
As you guys are crawling, you're not all quite lined up like that, as some of you are still in the tunnel. As you're all, I have to increase the size of all of your tokens because you're riding large creatures. They're all large creatures, right? They would
Yes,
have
sir.
to be for you to. They would have to be for you to actually use them as mounts.
If we survive this, I'm dissecting that thing.
Oh, but yeah, that is where we will pick things up next week, with you guys.
I just want to know one thing. What does Mind Flayer taste like?
Well, we get to find out.
Squid.
Not if I. Yeah, I was hoping that. I just want that moment. Like, calamari is back on the menu. Is that cannibalism? Maybe.
So we've got a mind flayer, and Thorin is hearing voices again. will be awesome.
Yeah, but he's gonna attack the nearest thing, which is the lizard.
True.
Yeah, we have lizard meat shields. As soon as everybody gets in from the tunnel.
I mean, you can rearrange yourselves in whatever order you guys were in, but you would either have to be off to the side over here, or whatever. But if you're actually on the wall, crawling along the wall, but you guys can arrange yourself in whatever order you want to. But it would have to be in this kind of formation, as you guys are just kind of crawling on opposite walls, coming in. Coming in that way. And I figured I didn't want to get into this fight just, at like 20 to 10. We'll pick that up next week.
Well, you gotta put an X on Khalid, Bill.
Oh, I do now have to put an X on Khalid. That is correct. As he no longer has a brain.
Okay, bye.
Easy head.
Does an Aranez happen to show up and collect his head and kill a mind flayer while it's there?
Thorn hasn't removed the head yet, so he's the one that has to present it.
Just letting you guys know. I gave us an option.
Taco sushi and antidepressants. Woo!
I said, let's go right. No! Follow the path. Water. No. Nothing also says it's good.
Well, we did find
Never
Khalid.
mind players here. It was clearly not good.
Hey, there's no elder brain that you can see, Donald, so it's clearly not as bad.
The pool would have had to be salty for, I think, probably. It's probably not the Elder Brain pool, at least. Just some other freaky glowing pool of water.
You think it's reflecting the glow of the bioluminescent mushrooms.
Very good. The necromantic energy bioluminescent mushroom.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm definitely eating that shit.
Not all necromancy spells are about zombies and stuff.
Are those glowing eyes giving off like any magic? I'm guessing enchantment.
It is not magical force.
Okay.
Huh.
It is a different source of power. It is not the arcane
All right.
bionics.
Dissection for sure.
Well, chat, thank you all so much for joining us. We're living another day. We'll see if we live another week next week. But yeah, we dealt with some spicy shit tonight.
We haven't checked in a while. Donald, what's the date as far as you can tell?
It is January 25th.
Hey.
I think the last 3 sessions. Yeah, the last 4 sessions have been over 2 days.
We've really slowed time down. Hey, when you guys are traveling, time clicks off pretty quick, but all right, yeah, that's crazy. All right,
Woo.
January 25th.
Cool. I'm gonna send you all to my friend Harney, who I believe is still streaming, hopefully. Yes, he is. Alright. Because I need to probably go into a meeting with him now. So please send him some love. We will see you all next week. Until then, you all stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourself, and take care of each other. Bye!
Bye.
Bye.
I'm a badass asexual